Hello everyone, Pantoufleee here today for a new video concerning the difference between the IS-3 Defender and the T28 Defender, because you requested me to do this kind of video in stream. For the people who don't know which one to take between the T28 and the IS-3, this video is for you. I'm sorry by advance for my voice or even my humor, but I had to do some IRL stuff that are unpleasant for me, and I'm sick as well, so... But anyway, we're not here to talk about my personal life, let's focus on which tank to get. I started with a replay of the IS-3 Defender. Why? Because I want to highlight you one main thing about this tank. You are able to do pretty much everything, and that's what is the huge difference between the T28 Defender and the IS-3 Defender. With this one, you're gonna be able to relocate, you're gonna be able to take positions, advanced positions, you're gonna be able to push, you can hold the flank, you can do all these stuffs. But you have to remember one thing, because if I tell you that this tank seems to be better, in fact it's not the case. The T28 Defender, in my opinion, is much better than this one, because the gun is clearly more accurate, even if it's the same alpha damage, but still accurate, and also because it's gonna do the same job but better in some occasions. I mean, the main advantage of the IS-3 Defender is if you want to relocate, which means with the mobility you have on the IS-3 Defender that you don't have on the T28 Defender, you are gonna get in position faster, which means you're gonna be able to either play it aggressively or even try to circle. So that's all for this one. You also have to remember that you have a better hull armor than the IS-3, because you have two I mean between the IS-3 Defender and the IS-3. I'm talking about both IS-3 and IS-3 Defender. Concerning the IS-3 Defender, you have a better hull than the one you have on the regular IS-3, which is nice because sometimes you're gonna get a couple of bounces that you can't explain, except if people are using gold. I think if they use gold, except if it's a tier 7, it's still gonna be a penetrating shot. So yeah, for example here, even if I'm not pushing straight, you can see that my mobility allowed me to get into this position, not fast, because I had a problem at the beginning of the game and I stayed 1 minute without moving, but I'm glad it didn't change the outcome of the battle. Still, with the IS-3 Defender, maybe I should compare them both. You know what, let's compare them both, and after I'm going to talk about the T28 Defender. The main difference between both tanks is the fact that the IS-3 Defender is more mobile, but also the fact that the T28 Defender has a better, clearly a better gun, because you're going to reload faster, the reload between shells is better as well. Everything concerning the gun is better on the T28 Defender, but you if you win on the gun, you lose on the mobility. With the T28 Defender, if you don't take the good side, you are not going to do your damage. With the IS-3 Defender, even if you miss the good side, sorry, and you try to join the rest of your team on the other side after, you can. And that's one huge difference that is gonna make the T28 Defender more team dependent than the IS-3 Defender. So I would advise you, if you're a lonely player, you should go for the the IS-3 Defender, sorry. And if you are playing in platoon really often, you can go for the T28 Defender, because with the IS-3 Defender you're gonna be able to spot for yourself, which means no need for light allies. You don't need to wait for your team either, because you can hold the flank. You can hold the flank as long as you're not alone, completely alone, because even if you're not as team dependent as the T28 Defender, with the IS-3 Defender you still need to be with some people in case you're reloading your whole clip, because 20 seconds is extremely long. Now let's focus on the T28 Defender. It's still mobile, better than most of the really slow TDs at tier 8, but you only go to 30 km per hour. You need to know where you're going. With this one, you always stick with the team. You never go full Bliat alone on one side, because if you do that, you're gonna get destroyed. You have to remember that it's still an American tank, which means you have an extremely weak side armor. Therefore, you never truly try to angle your tank. You always try to show your tank straight in front of your opponent. And you're gonna see that it's working fine with the T28 Defender. It does the job perfectly. Of course, here it does because the Tiger 2 doesn't have the last gun. But yeah, it's something extremely important while you're playing your T28 Defender. And when I told you that the tank was better than the IS-3 Defender in certain kind of situation, I'm talking about this kind of one. Here, for example, with the best accuracy of both tanks, I'm able to get shots fast on the Gravedigger and the Tiger 2, and as I'm reloading faster, I'm able to kill them quicker. Also, the reload between the whole reload is a bit better on the T28 Defender. Personally, if you're asking my opinion, out of the IS-3 Defender or the T28 Defender, I prefer the T28 Defender because I'm a TD lover. Maybe if you're checking my streams, you should know that by now. But not only because it's a tank destroyer, but mostly because with this tank I actually managed to bounce things, which is not the case really often with the IS-3 Defender. Don't mind me, you're still gonna bounce with the IS-3 Defender, but I think, at least out of what I saw in my replays, sorry, this is the T28 Defenders that wins the prize of the most bouncy out of the two. And what did I wanted to talk about? I think that's all. I don't have much to say about them. Maybe the fact... Oh yeah, I know. Concerning the gun as well. The gun depression. The gun depression on the IS-3 Defender is gonna be horrible in a lot of situations. That's why this tank is more suitable in some kind of all down situations. Or, no, peekaboo maybe not, because you're clearly not fast enough. You don't have the mobility for it. But in situations that requires some degrees of gun depression, with the T28 Defender, you're actually gonna be able to use your depression effectively. Whether with the IS-3 Defender, you are not gonna be able to do that a lot. That's what makes a huge difference, at least for me, in my concerning my playstyle. So now, if I had to sum up a bit both tanks, I would say for the IS-3 Defender, I'm gonna compare both of them as I did previously, but if I had to compare both of them, the one having the best gun depression, etc. is the T28 Defender, the one having the best mobility is the IS-3 Defender, and the one having the best armor, in my opinion, is the T28 Defender if you stay straight in your opponent, but if you know how to angle, it's gonna be the IS-3 Defender, because you can side-scrap. I hope this video is gonna be helpful. I don't really know if it's gonna be helpful or not, but I hope at least it will allow you to choose between both of them or take both. If you can take both, you should go for both of them because they are two extremely good tanks, but that's your choice now and not mine. So thank you all for watching. Don't forget that you're not here to be better but to be the best. Pantoufleee, over.